deep tech. Our next presenter is, in fact, a rocket scientist. She joins us from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory down in Southern California and is going to tell us about script layering in Python. Please welcome back to North Bay Python, Catherine Moroney.
Now, my microphone is on, I hear, so everybody can hear me, and as you will find out very quickly, I do stutter, and Lindsay, if you make it through this talk, I owe you a very large bottle of whiskey. Have fun. And compared to the previous two talks, all I can do is quote the original Python and say, and now for something completely different. And my job involves pushing as many numbers through the computer in the quickest time possible, and the task here happens to be kicking off as many programs as I can in the most automated fashion possible, and this being NASA, instead of saying codes, they are called product generation and executables, because why use one simple word when some completely obscure acronym will do? And so and if I get overly ambitious and want to run a large quantity of jobs. What I want to do is to have a single script where I can say run these 900 orbits all at once, instead of going run orbit run backspace run orbit 2 and so on and so forth. And so I've broken the problem down into 3 scripts. The first run runs a single orbit of a single PGE uh, uh, on the local host. The second script, it will 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 also will submit multiple orbits of a single PGA and submit them to the batch cluster, and then the third script will run on a chain of the PGEs, and 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 for the anonymous tweeter yesterday who was wondering when the Fortran mention would happen, most of these PGEs are indeed written in Fortran. So the single orbit, so the first script locates all of the input files, copies them to a locally mounted disk, construct the configuration file, construct the command string thing, run that single PGE locally, wait until it finishes, and then it cleans up after itself. And then the second second PGE calls the first constructs the command string for all of the instances of the first script, and submits them to the batch cluster, and instead of copying and pasting the various options, and you create a standalone function that takes in an option and parsing object that fills in all of the configuration and returns it. So instead of copy and pasting from the first first script to the second script. The only thing that you do is to document and the options in this single function, and then pass your blank option parser object into that function to get the configuration set up. And you create the parser object, configure it, and then you construct the list of the orbit numbers that you want to run, and rapidly you submit it command and around that first string generate the process as and then you just go ahead and submit it all of the jobs to the cluster. And you sit back, wait until the overloaded cluster crashes, and then you wait patiently for the system administrator to show up at your office door with his torch and pitchfork going, "Catherine, is it you again?" No, because my sysadmin has a shoot first has a shoot first and ask questions later policy, which I must admit it is a very practical time saver, because most of the time the offending player is me. And to riff off of J.R.R. Tolkien, the command to crash a cluster ends up ends up looking just like this. I pick a PGE, run orbits 1 through 500, 1000 through 1500, copy the resulting files to my work, submits them to the all queue, and le, and then after I submit this handy dandy little command, I begin planning my escape route. And then what we can do is to train to get other like this, and as you can see, it's it's not a straightforward linear chain, because that would make life way too simple. So like, for example, PGE 1 and 7 can kick off first. I can't run 13 until both run and 7 have finished. I can't run 8A until 1, 7, and 13 have finished. However, 8AX only needs 1 and 7, but it doesn't need 13, and so on and so forth. So I keep track of all of the PGEs is using three different lists. There's the list of PGEs that haven't started yet. There's the list of the PGEs that are currently running, and then there's the finished list. So the overall score, you set up and in infinite loop with a breakout condition, loop through the PGE, and if the PGE is in the running or the finished state, and you cycle past it, you get at a list of all of the needed PGEs, and if all of those needed PGEs are in the finished queue, then you call the second script to submit this single PGE to the batch cluster. scrape off the user ID from the command output, and then you only cluster on say minute go through all of the running PGEs, and if that at job ID no longer no longer appears in the cluster queue, then you check the output status, and if the EPG succeeded, you remove it from the running queue, you add it to the finished queue, and then the script will keep on cycling until the list of PGEs matches the finished queue. So that's the conductor script, and then the score is just this wonderful little online thing, and and again you run this command and get a cup of coffee, and then basically he try to avoid your sysadmin. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine.